Hello, friends. Welcome back to Stockers, another weekly update. In today's podcast, along with the weekly update about the U.S. stock markets, we have three prime highlights for you. As Valentine's week has kicked off, Wall Street is looking forward to the relationship between two popular couples, inflation and rate hikes, and fundamentals and valuation. In the previous week, investor sentiment shook due to rising prices. Until this pressure subsides, markets are likely to act up volatile. And if the sentiments become negative, the stocks might revisit the January lows. Meanwhile, the big tech companies came out with outstanding numbers. If we leave Facebook's unfortunate slide aside, the tech pack has done well. Google stock is inching higher towards the desired $2 trillion valuations, and Amazon's valuation rose by $190 billion in a single day, higher than Apple's $181 billion. Even Microsoft declared a higher than expected set of numbers. But with the news about inflation reaching a 4-decade high, the S&P 500 fell marginally by 1.8%, the blue chip Dow fell by 1.0%, and the Nasdaq slipped the most at 2.2%. Nevertheless, looking on the positive side, we have Uber Eats with a jump of 77% in revenue to $2.4 billion. It's the first quarter when Uber Eats has posted profits. Moreover, the parent company, Uber's income from riding business was reported at $5.78 billion for Q4 of 2021, 83% higher compared to that of 2020. Their EPS came to 44% per share. The company's active users are 118 million, with Uber Pool service coming back after the pandemic pause. Their revenue can rise further in the coming times. Uber also aspires to deliver a super app to its users that lets you book flights, shop for clothes, and manage your money. So how does the stock look at the current price level of $37? Factors say tempting. Another positive news includes the Biden administration's plan to allocate $5 trillion to states to fund electric vehicle chargers over 5 years. This is a part of the bipartisan infrastructure package that includes $7.5 billion towards building EV charging stations across the US. The government has pledged that by 2030, half of the vehicles plying on the US road will be electric. So what does this indicate? It's time to keep a closer look at EV and its allied stocks. Some stocks like ChargePoint, EVgo, Blink Charging, and Wallbox must be on your radar. Also, the companies like Hyliion, Romeo Power, and QuantumScape working on innovative ideas must be on the watch list. What tech companies were a couple of decades ago are the EV companies today. Currently, the range is the problem for potential EV buyers, but recent initiatives are likely to solve this problem over time. The current spending could be the beginning. Biden's big goals indicate that there is more to come. And lastly comes Netflix's domination in this year's Oscars nominations. Oh, did that just rhyme? Anyway, with a total of 27 nominations, Netflix led the league of online streaming platforms. On the other hand, Amazon Studios received 3 acting nominations and a makeup and hairstyling nod. And Disney had a total of 23 nominations, mainly in the animated feature film category. Well, movies are worth bringing, but the important question is Netflix stock worth a binge? While it is not a favorite stock of focused investors, it is starting to gain merit as a value stock. Despite weak subscriber numbers, Netflix's EPS was $1.33 in the last quarter. In total, EPS for 2021 came to $11.24. While Netflix's short-term prospects may be in the flux, its long-run potential remains intact. Investors that can stomach the short-term volatility may have an opportunity to buy this excellent media streaming stock at a beaten-down price. Nevertheless, pandemic impacts are easing. Corporates are releasing better than expected earnings, and the economic support remains intact. Meanwhile, when the prices comes to attractive levels, you can consider investing in U.S. stock market. Of course, after conducting thorough research. For that, all you got to do is download the Stockle app from iOS App Store or Google Play Store and capitalize on the market dip. Until then, take care. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you again next week with new updates.